go. Should we get some interior shots?
See you later.
Yeah. Right. So
Let's go ahead and let's do the thing.
He's got a handbrake. Oh, handbrake's not on. Handbrake's off. Yeah, handbrake's off. Right, let's go into drive. Brake's good. Well, I was thinking I'll go down up that way.
Yeah.
The steering's extremely light. So, what's the Bentley Azure all about then? So it's basically the convertible version of the Continental R, which was the hardtop version of this. So, introduced in the late 90s, it featured a 6.75 litre single turbo, which was a Garrett turbo. Right, so I'm going to show you the beating heart of this beauty. So let's lift the bonnet up. You ready? There she is, that 6.75 litre single turbo Garrett V8. I mean, this is hand-built crew by Bentley Motorcars by a Mr. M. Appleby. If you want to get the plaque on there. There you go. But there's one thing I want to say. You're expecting it to have a small turbo, right? No, you'll be extremely wrong. Here you go, this is your Garrett turbo here. So it's a big turbo, it's on the side of the engine here. Can you see that there? That there is a single Garrett turbo. You know, that's what gives this car more power, more speed. Very beautifully balanced, that turbo, makes the engine even more smoother than if it was just on its own as well. So yeah, that is the beating heart of this beauty. It's prepared to a 4-speed automatic gearbox. I believe it's GM, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, 6.75 litre single turbo V8. Beautiful. But the early cars had around 365 horsepower. Now the first generation came up to about 2002, which this car is. So it was one of the last off the line. Are we going up that way?
Anywhere you want. Come.
Up here.
Oh, one way.
No, can't go that way.
So the next one.
Yeah, so basically the later cars got uprated to about 400 horsepower and 720 newton meters of torque, which translates to about 550 newton meters, 550 foot-pounds of torque. Now this car's rear-wheel drive and has the 4-speed gearbox, GM gearbox, which is a fantastic gearbox. I like this as well, and it's been used in most of the cars.
Tell us where we are.
So we're currently in Buffalo at the Chautauqua. Is it Chautauqua?
We're in Chautauqua. Chautauqua Institute.
Oh, we're in the Chautauqua Institute, which is where we've all been staying this week for the Rolls-Royce rally over in America. And you can see it's lovely grounds around here with a lovely car as well. You know, this car, there's only what I'm not a big fan of this car, and the reason is I just don't like the name Azure. It just feels, I just don't like that name. It just feels, it sounds like a disease or something like that. Oh yes, Azure. But anyway, this column here, we're just going to stop. I want to show you the column. So this here, it sort of reminds me of the Bentley Turbo Rs from the 80s and the 90s. You know, I love how this is all captured here. I love this like long column up here, and it's just followed. This is all your seat control. So backward, forward, that moves your bolster back. There we go. And then you've got your sport mode up on there. You've got your heat seaters, these are your heaters for your seats as well, and you've got all this lovely walnut wood and beautiful leather as well. And then on the controls here, you've got your cruise control, your indicators, and your town and country horns. And to change that, you just click that, and then click it back in. That's awesome, I love that. Then you do pull the air gear shift up. Oh, listen to that rumbling growl. Yeah, so 0 to 60 in this took about 6.7 seconds and went on to a top speed of around 150 mile an hour. The steering on this is very light, it's very direct and very precise. And you got to think, this is it's getting on for 3 tons, this car. You know, it's very easy to drive, it's very light. You know, when you put your foot down, then you can feel that turbo kick in, and it really goes. It's really, I like this. You know, I wasn't really a big fan of the Azure when it came out. I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the name. But if you're me and you've got very specific requirements for a high-end flash car, it really is rather very good indeed. The steering's fantastic. The speed is good. The engine on this is phenomenal. Hand built in England. More specifically in Crewe as well. You know, seats are very comfortable. It's just a lovely car. You know, but drive it like this and it's a completely normal car, and then you can put your foot down, feel the turbo kick in, the car lifts up at the front, and the power is just phenomenal. It's just so direct. But the thing is, for me, this car only suits certain people because it's convertible. Only certain people look good in it, and because I'm ginger and wear ripped jeans, it wouldn't suit me at all. I'd look like a right hooray. I mean, you can feel the car rolling and leaning when it comes through the corners. You can feel the weight going 50, front, you can feel the power going front, left, side to side, and when you turn, the car leans more to that side as well. But it's got very good weight distribution as well. Even though the bulk of the power is the bulk of the weight is at the front, it really does feel well. It feels like a mid-engine sports car because that engine is so well balanced and is in just it feels like it's mid-engine, even though it's not. It's like a mid-engine sports car. You know, and you get that rumbling growl there. You know, and the thing is, you don't even realise what speed you're getting up to. You know, the brakes are fantastic as well. It's got disc brakes, ventilated front disc brakes on the front and discs on the back as well. You know, and when you put the windows down, both windows come down together. I mean, look proper cool. But you've got to think, this car is a 2002 car, and in that era, 2002, there was a lot of rappers around then, you know, and all of them were pretty much uncool because they had Bentley Azures. You know, they all thought they were good, and most of their music videos featured these cars. Jean-Claude Van Damme had one of these as well. You know, so it was a lot of celebrities had this. You know, I've got, even though I'm wearing a hat and I'm quite tall, I've got loads of headroom. You know, if you're quite tall, you've got nothing to worry about because you can just pull the roof down as well. So you do look good, but I just don't think I suit it. You know, I am really actually quite impressed with this car. I mean, we just cut the camera for a second just to see what it's like through the corners. Look at this here. I can turn this steering wheel with my little finger. Look at that there. You don't need, you can just, it's just easy to, it's just so precise. Oh, it's really good. You know, why I wouldn't buy one of these cars because it doesn't suit me. Like, it is a good car, but for me, I wouldn't buy one. But I just can't get over how good this steering is. You know, it's usually in Rolls-Royce and Bentleys of this era, there's quite a bit of play and the steering is really heavy on them. This, look at that there, I'm hardly turning it, and it's just going into the corners. Where I point the steering wheel, the car is following me there. So if I turn it there, the car's going to follow me over there. It is so good. And then I can set the cruise control as well. So if I want to set the cruise control at 60 mile an hour, foot off the accelerator. Look at that, it's just driving along. And you wouldn't think for a 2002 car, it's done 11,000 miles. Well, it has. This is one of the lowest mileage cars on the market. You know, it's not for sale, but it's 11,000 miles from you. Do you like it?
I love this car.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm really rather impressed with this, I have to say. I didn't think I'd like it. And like I said, I wouldn't buy one, but it's good. Now, it's obviously got an updated radio in it because the 2002 one is out of date. So this one you can put your like USB in as well. And this button here is sport mode. So what this is, you put it in sport, and it's like an overdrive. It holds the gear longer, so you can get the most out of the car. You know, you don't need to drive this car fast. That's just there for like motorway miles, well, ideally. You know, and most Bentleys are better on the like long straight roads. This would be perfect to drive down to the south of France, around the corners. I think this, around the French Riviera, this would be a fantastic car, and you'd love driving it you'd love driving every single minute of it as well. I mean, you've got this long flat bonnet in front of you, housed with a V8, and these are all your dials on here. You know, you've got your fuel gauge, your engine, your oil, your engine temperature, your battery, and then you're cocooned with all these beautiful pieces of wood, your walnut, and your two-tone like dash colour here. So you've got black on the tan. It's wonderful. And your walnut, just look at all this walnut on the doors as well, and then you've got your window controls as well. I have to say, I'm enjoying driving this car. I think a used one of these is a great car to go and buy. For the money, what you're paying for, look how much car you get. I think, because I think it's a damn good investment, I think you should go and buy one. You know, I wouldn't buy a Turbo R, I wouldn't buy a Continental R, I'd go and buy one. I'd highly recommend you buy one of these. It's a brilliant car, it really is. But there are a couple of things I don't like. Don't like the name. The steering wheel could do with more buttons as well. It's only got the horn, it's just a bit bland. You could do more buttons. So I think they could take some of these off here and put them on there as well. But apart from that, joking aside, brilliant, love it. Put the windows down, look cool, riding along.
You didn't say something about being back at the Institute now.
Yeah, so do you not think that this car really suits where we are, this institute here, the Chautauqua Institute? You've got all these lovely houses here, and I think this car really suits it really well. It's rather very nice. You know, it feels at home here. You know, it's like a private community, and this is where this car would tend to belong. You know what I mean? You know, they're driven by cool people, these are, you know, like me, you know, the hat on and all that. I just want to show you how beautiful the car looks. So you can see the shape of the Continental R, but what they've basically done is they've taken away this section and put a convertible in. Now this tends to be a bit of a dodgy business in the car world, because when you start taking away the metal on here and you put in a convertible, you have to add strengthening beams to make the car heavier and make it more stronger, because it's like trying to join bricks together with playing cards. It's got to be all wobbly, so you've got to add strengthening beams into the car, and usually it makes the car heavier, and it also messes with handling, not as responsive. But Bentley have worked absolute wonders with it. And I just want to show you, have you seen this here? I mean, the windows are all the way down on it. Look at this here, you can actually see like this big C circular shape. If you open it up, that is the interior as well. It's lovely. You've got the exhaust on here. And if I take you around the other side as well, that is a heavy door. That feels really heavy. You have to have some muscle to be able to do that. I want to pop the boot. In your main dash, you've got all your buttons on here. Like I said, they should be on here. So you got what you got. You got your light. You've got hazards, your heating, and this one here. This is your most important one. You've got your full button there. But if I click this button here, this is for your boot. You ready? You hear that click? This is how big the boot is. You'd expect it to be really big, but because it's got the convertible, you've got to put the roof into it and all that. You've got your big mechanism on the back, so the boot's not overly big. This is a convertible car. I've got to show. I thought I'd show you how to do the roof on this. It's quite important. So what you need to do, you need to start the car, make sure all the windows up, go up to 1500 revs. Hold it at 1500 revs there, and what you do, hold this button here. You've got to hold it. You've got to hold it at 1500 revs. There's this red button up here, and this red light up here, and you've got to hold the roof down until all that hydraulic. There you go. You've got to hold this up to hold this button down until this red light goes off, and then you're cocooned by all this here. There you go. You can't let go of this button yet until this light goes off, which it's just done. Look at that. This red button's gone off now up here. This red light's gone off up here now, which means you can let go of the button as well. Your button is there for the room. That's cool. Look at this space. You feel like a movie star now. Yeah. Nice, isn't it? This car is getting more and more beautiful with age. You know, like those cars that age really well. You think like your Aston Martin DB7s and all that. I think this is one of the best looking cars still Bentley has ever made. It's just got so much better with age, you know. And it looks absolutely fabulous. So yes, thank you all very much for watching. Head over to my YouTube channel, Cormac on Cars, where I will post this video. And thank you to Stephen Graham for posting the filming today as well. If you ever want any media work done, here's your man to go to. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.